back to the Inspiring Vanessa Show podcast, and as you guys can see today, I have a very special guest today. I have Adam. How are you feeling to be on today's interview today?
I'm very, very happy to be on Inspiring Vanessa's platform. Little did I know, I was only up the road about 5 minutes drive away.
We had no idea we were that close to each other, so basically we could have filmed it at any other time, but today we decided to film it because it's a very special day. The sun is out today, so I thought the perfect time to be filming this interview. So we actually did have a chance to meet at the Roundtable Global Youth Awards. How did it feel to interview all the incredible people who were there?
You know, it really, really took me back because I've been going to them since around about 2018, I think. Even before that, 2017. So it's really interesting to see what stays the same and what's different. I think the one thing that stays the same is it's always got loads of really, really interesting young people there. But what's changed is the issues that we're talking about, and the platform that we give people to express themselves has actually grown. You know, this time we had a venue that had capacity for 3,000 people.
The venue was absolutely massive, and it was new as well, so it's kind of like the first audience to be there was obviously for a very good cause as well. So, how did you get started? Because I know that you do lots of different things apart from doing presenting and interviewing people. So, how did you get started in your career in general?
Essentially, I do a couple of things, but my main source of income comes from my sort of 9-to-5 day job, you could say, where I work in business development for a consulting firm. Aside from that, I'm a non-executive director of Young Urban Arts Foundation, which is a charity that teaches young people to express themselves through the creative arts. And I've come sort of full circle from a beneficiary about 7 years ago right through to being a trustee and director on the board. That's a voluntary role, and I've also got another voluntary role as an ambassador and a member of the team over at Roundtable Global. Roundtable Global is a sort of umbrella organisation with various different businesses in, and one of the charities within the group is called the Roundtable Global Youth Awards. So I've been involved there in 2015, 2018 and 2019, getting involved in hosting and performing at the awards. Recently flew out to West Hollywood. We were staying up in Beverly Hills, and we put on the LA Youth Awards in the Glen Arden Club. And then we also had a massive venue over in London for the London Youth Awards last year, which was in Magazine London, right by the O2, which is a venue that holds 3,000 people. So our goal next year is to really fill that out. Beside that, I'm a content producer at I Am Hip Hop magazine, and then I've also got my own sort of music career as Adam KG, which is my artist name, and again putting out a campaign and my first ever album in 2020.
That is absolutely fantastic, Adam. So what's been the most important thing that you've learned on your journey so far? Like all the things that you've learned from all the individual things that you do, what's like the most important lesson that you've learned?
Well, I think what we're talking about here is changes in reality, changes in self-perception, and changing the results that we get. So I think the answer for that is increasing your self-awareness. And how do you do that? It's about understanding what lessons life are giving you. So it's like looking back and understanding, right, why did I go through what I went through? Why did I create that situation? What was there to learn from that? And it's about learning about my belief systems that create my life. So for instance, I used to think that I wasn't interesting. I used to think that I wasn't inspiring. I used to think that I was. People told me that I was small. I was bullied in school. People told me I was small. People told me that I looked different. And the initial reaction is to just comply with the status quo and be like, oh well, I'm going to stay in that little box that society tells me I'm in. But that's not a fulfilling life, as you know, and you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And I think the main thing that we can all do is step out of our comfort zone and notice what's different. I think it's quite exciting when you start really being quite purposeful in life, and you start understanding, right, where do I want to go, who do I need to be there, and just working out what are your dependencies, what skills, what knowledge, what network will I need. And people say, oh, life's random, but nothing's random. I think there's a formula to things.
100%. So why do you think it's so difficult for young people nowadays, and how relevant it is right now with all the things going on in the streets? Why do you think it's so difficult for young people to kind of I don't know, I wouldn't really say be like us, but have a different mindset and have a different perspective of life? Why do you think it's so difficult for young people nowadays to kind of feel happiness?
I guess we've kind of touched on it, and it all relates to mindset and perception, and it kind of relates to the labels that you put on yourself and where you feel that you sit within society. I think, you know, with the advent of social media, everybody's going to tell you social media is bad, and I'm not going to say it's good, but I think it's agnostic. It's not, you know, social media is not bad, but it's so easy to fall into that habit of, you know, turning on your Instagram and seeing everybody put on this filtered version of themselves and assuming that everybody's living a better life than you. So it's like we're so externally focused with social media, the media, what school tells you, what your parents tell you, because like not everybody is as blessed to have the parents, you know, that we have, and the friends that we have, and the charities like Young Urban Arts, Roundtable, Platform Inspires, all the people. So it's like we need infrastructure as individuals, and sometimes you're lucky enough to be born into it, and sometimes you've got to create that for yourself. I know, I mean, I speak to a lot of people who grow up in a certain lifestyle, but somehow they manage to get out. And sometimes it's you might need to go through something really, really challenging, something that's not in line with your preferences, but realise that, you know, life was trying to tell you something for ages, and, you know, signals get more and more extreme until the penny drops and you take action. So I think everybody's on their own individual journey, and at some point along those journeys we do identify as a victim, you know, and that's the nature of reality, that if you think you're a victim, you're going to see evidence of that. So it's kind of doing things that will take you out of your comfort zone, or just put you in a different frame of mind, start doing different things, hanging around different people, and just just come alive and enjoy the process. And once you see that, then you want more of it, and soon, you know, you stop living such a hard life, and you stop seeing as yourself as someone who is a victim, and, you know, you just get in flow.
Yeah, I think we just said that a lot of young people should really be hearing that, because I think it would really, really help them. Have you ever considered going into like schools?
It's interesting. I was supposed to do a talk at Jack Petchey Academy, but the day that I went to arrive, they had a stabbing just outside the school, and they had to shut it down. So I've actually got a whole speech prepared for young people talking about some of this stuff. So yeah, I'm probably going to go back to Jack Petchey Academy and hacking at some point this year. But if anybody else wants to get in touch, we'll skip to the social media bit, which is I'm on Adam KG Official, Adam KG Official, and you can reach out, and I'll always respond to you.
Yeah, because I think what you were saying is definitely very relevant in our community and our society right now, and obviously it's devastating seeing what's happening. Because like a couple of incidents or like crimes that happen like that have been like near my school, let's say, and it's just like very worrying to see how people can so easily be peer pressured or whatever it is that gets them into that situation, and it's honestly very, very devastating. But I know that there's something we can do to help young people. So yeah. And
then as individuals, we're changing our self-perceptions. We're vibrating on a different energy level. So we don't experience that individually, but you see it in the news, and there's this massive disparity. And I think it is because there are a lot of people who are within that paradigm where, you know, they genuinely fear for their lives, so they have to carry a knife. And of course, when you're in that mindset, what vibe are you going to give to the brother when you're walking down the street? So you're naturally going to incite more violence because of who you believe you are and what you believe reality is. So it's about really taking people out of that and providing you know, safe spaces for young people to have open and honest conversations and start to see themselves in a different light. And I think coming back to the work with Young Urban Arts Foundation, I think that's where they've really hit the nail on the head, and I think we've really hit the nail on the head as an organisation. It's helping young people see themselves in a new light through music, through expression, through something that's fun, making it a vocation, and almost not, because like what the government to some degree and schools to some degree have fallen into before is saying this is right, this is wrong, and if you do that you're bad. And then again, it's just very label and box orientated, so it's not a holistic way of helping people grow and develop.
So speaking of music, I was going to ask you if you could do a freestyle rap, because I know that you are very into the arts, especially with Kerry. So can you give us a freestyle rap for the Inspirators, or maybe if you're watching this video, we've been listening to this interview.
Okay, so just a little bit of
just a little bit of a taster.
Just a little bit of a taster. So I've got an album coming out this year called The Therapist in Therapy. I've got original artwork from Ali Zaidi. We'll be releasing it with some tracks with a lot of American artists. I've been out to LA. I've also got some artists I'm working with in New York, and it's going to be brand affiliated with Trailblazers Entertainment as well. So I'm going to give you I'll give you an excerpt from the intro track of that, which is called Dreaming. See, I'm dreaming about a better place, where the yak's got a better taste. Test me, you'll be amazed. True say we making history. I started from the bottom page, grew it to a trilogy. Discipline like the military. You can't ever figure me out. Poker face, Versace on my lace when I'm stepping out. Adam KG, true say that I've been about. Far from average, since a youth man I had cash under the mattress. Changed the bandwidth, my whole world expanded. I didn't even plan it, I saw it and grabbed it. Cause there's no second chances in a world full of madness.
Oh, that was absolutely amazing. And obviously I hope that was enough for people to go and obviously stay tuned for that album. So when is the album coming out, and when can we find out where to listen to it, obviously once it comes out?
So the album, I mean, right now it's all about timing for me. I've got the campaign, I've got the merchandise, I've got the album artwork, I've got about 4 out of 8 tracks ready, so I'm halfway there. But then it's also, I need to get myself registered on PRS for music, so one of the track blows, which of course it will, I can get some royalties on it. And then I also want to have some connections with some talent management or some booking agencies as well, so I can go and get some actual events to go and perform the album at as well. So I'm thinking maybe it's going to be about the 3rd or 4th quarter of this year, so coming out in August or potentially something like October.
Yeah, I can definitely see you going in the right direction. I cannot wait to hear more of the music coming out soon. So if you could say your Instagram one more time so you can kind of stay tuned on your journey.
Yeah, by all means. My Instagram is Adam KG Official, so ADAM KG Official, all one word.
Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed this interview with Adam. It was absolutely incredible to have you here and hear about your perspective on different things that happen in society, and obviously having that little freestyle rap and that little preview. But thank you so much for being on this interview, and we'll see you guys on the next show. Bye!